Okay, in today's news, Fox Sports 1 personality, influencer, and moderator of the hit show, the only hit show on Fox Sports 1, Undisputed, Jenny Taft, is going to sign an extension to remain with Fox Sports 1. But as far as her continuing to be the moderator for Undisputed, she's going to exit stage right and leave Undisputed. Now, in a press release, they basically said that they're pleased to let the world know that they're going to keep Jenny Taft and she's going to remain with Fox Sports 1. But as far as her returning to her original role, her role with Undisputed, she's leaving the show. They also said in this press statement, it has nothing to do with the friction with the two hosts, mainly Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Now, for those out there who do not understand or are probably saying to themselves, what friction are you talking about? Allow your boy to explain. Now, it's been a couple of years ago, but she was in a little hot water with Shannon Sharpe, with her comments, particularly about, and I forgot the athlete's name that was talking about domestic violence, and, she had her opinion about it, and it rubbed Shannon Sharpe the wrong way, and he basically commented on her opinion. And that was sort of a sticking point with the two, but they were very professional and they just simply moved on with it, as well as her little brush with Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless was talking about Mike McCarthy and his physique, and Jenny Kraft commented on that. And that rubbed Skip Bayless the wrong way as well. Now, I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this, but Undisputed is Skip Bayless' baby. Fox Sports 1 is going to do whatever it takes to please Skip Bayless, even though they signed him to a multi-year contract. And as of right now, 2022, it's funny, but Shannon Sharpe is still not signed to a multi-year contract with Fox Sports 1. They are still in discussions as we speak as far as signing a long-term deal with Fox Sports 1. I feel like Shannon Sharpe is going to sign a deal with Fox Sports 1, but it's not going to be equal nor the same as Skip Bayless, because Fox Sports 1 feels like, and they believe that it's Skip Bayless' show. He's the star. Despite what everyone says on social media, I know Shannon Sharpe is a hit on social media. I know Shannon Sharpe has a large fan base. I know a lot of you guys like Shannon Sharpe. Me personally, Shannon Sharpe's a hit and miss with me. I think he's very entertaining. I think I think he has tons of information and perspective, as well as I love listening to his opinion. But at the end of the day, Undisputed can go on. Life will go on the same, if not better, for Undisputed if Shannon Sharpe leaves Fox Sports 1 or Undisputed, and they part their ways and they find someone else to replace. I think it's easier to replace Shannon Sharpe than it is for Skip Bayless. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say otherwise. A lot of you guys are not happy with Skip Bayless, but those are personal feelings, all right? And television ratings don't evaluate people's feelings about a personality. If you love him or hate him, you're still listening and watching him. That's the fact. The ratings go up, all right? Those are the facts, all right? So that's what Fox Sports 1, that's the evidence Fox Sports 1 had when they re-signed Skip Bayless, all right? Plus, Skip Bayless was on high demand. ESPN was willing to give Skip Bayless whatever he wanted, and he could have still done Undisputed with Fox Sports 1. ESPN had no problem with it. They wanted to match Skip Bayless with Stephen A. Smith. Maybe they can recap that old magic that they once had and put them on ESPN Plus. I'm about to say Disney Plus, but ESPN Plus, and ESPN Plus would have blew up. As of right now, it's not there yet. It's pretty much somewhat dead in the water. But you have to, if you think back, uh, if ESPN would have gotten Skip Bayless and he did ESPN Plus things, and as well as showcase him on a lot of the platforms they have already signed and made deals with, like being a focal point in NBA games, boxing events, at one point UFC, playoffs, Super Bowls, things of that nature. They was going to plaster Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith together, make them a dynamic duo, which that was in the cards all along, and that's one of the reasons why they made the decision on Max, and now Max is no longer with First Take. And I done covered all that on previous videos. You can go check that out for yourself. I'm not going to go make this video any longer than it's already going to be. But anyway, in retrospect, Jenny Taft is going to come back to Fox Sports 1, but not with Undisputed. And there's another elephant in the room. A lot of people are not going to touch on this when they make videos and live streams about this. But if you've been noticing, Undisputed has a hard time keeping their moderators. Okay? Jenny Taft wasn't the original moderator for Undisputed. Undisputed has gone through several moderators, and most of those moderators still work at Fox Sports 1, but at a different capacity. I forgot the young lady that's the co-host with Colin Cowherd. I can't think of her name right now, but I know people are going to comment in the comment section. If you give me a few seconds, I probably can bring her name up quick, fast, and in a hurry. And if you look at her, she has done a lot of great things pairing up with Colin Cowherd. She has been a guest host for Speak for Yourself, and she has her own radio show on the weekends at Fox Sports 1. All right? But she exit stage left from Undisputed because she wanted to be more than just a moderator, more than just a person that just talk about, that sets up the topic, maybe say one or two things, and introduce the next topic. That's pretty much how Undisputed, if you look at Skip Bayless and you look at Shannon Sharp, you really don't need a moderator that's going to speak a lot, because those two individuals speak a ton. All right. So there's no need for a third wheel to come with their comments. All right. And I feel like a lot of the topics that they debate about, they're long-winded, and you need a moderator that sets up the topic, hurry the topic along, and move to the next topic quick, fast, and hurry. And Jenny Taft thought that she was more than just a moderator. She thought that she was like Molly Quinn over there at First Take, that she can exercise her opinions, and her opinions are valid. And I just don't feel like, if you look at Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, they really view her opinions that significant, or they're valid opinions. All right. They allow her to speak somewhat at the end, but she says a couple of sentences and then they move on. All right. She never engage in the talk or the conversation when they're in their debate stage and in their dialogue fights. All right. So the next moderator that they're going to get, they have a handful of moderators, but it would not surprise me if, and it's probably going to be orchestrated from Skip Bayless, how he wants how he wants Undisputed moving forward. They're not going to have a solid moderator that's going to be there every week. I feel like they're going to run their moderators like like a pitching staff. Uh, they just want a moderator that sets up the topics and then they discuss the topics and then they move on. I don't think they're going to want a consistent moderator. They would like to have a multitude of different moderators because the moderator on Undisputed is insignificant. No one cares who's the moderator is on Undisputed. All you guys care about is Shannon, Skip, and what they're going to talk about. And love it or hate it, you really care about what Skip Bayless is going to hate on next. All right? That's what moves the needle. That's what drives the people to their show. And that's why they get the ratings. And that's why that's a very successful show. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Okay? But Jenny Taft is moving. Is no longer going to be with Undisputed. But she's going to have a role with Fox Sports 1. I don't know what type of role it's going to be. She's probably going to be one of those sideline reporters or someone that fills in on a radio show or whatever. Now, she does have a podcast, but it's not a very successful podcast. I have heard her. I've heard her talent outside of Undisputed. It's okay. I like it. And she brings narratives and topics that sometimes has little to do with sports. And I think it's very entertaining, particularly on her podcast. I have listened to a couple of her podcasts with her co-host. It's okay. Nothing to write home about, but it's different. And I feel like she's going to bring that to Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports 1 believes that Jenny Taft can bring more to the table than just being someone in the middle as a moderator with Fox Sports 1 and Undisputed. I feel like a lot of changes is going to transpire in the off season of Undisputed when we get closer to the summer months. I think they're going to shut down temporarily. Everyone's going to go on a little vacation. And they're going to have the Undisputed is still going to go on. They're going to have some host that's going to host the show for the next couple of weeks. And when they come back from their vacation, I feel like you're going to see a lot of new things with Undisputed. You're definitely going to get a rotation of moderators. Okay, that's one. If Shannon Sharp do not agree to the terms that Fox, I have heard that Fox Sports 1 has a contract on the table, and they have not changed from that contract. Shannon Sharp is not happy with that contract because he feels like he's an equal to Skip Bayless. And he brings a lot to the table at Fox Sports 1. But Shannon Sharp is looking at, and I noticed this about today's athlete. They don't look at the potential, what you're going to bring to a network or to a franchise. They look at how popular and successful they are on social media. And that's why you should give them X, Y, and Z. Not the potential, not the talent, but they feel like you should give them a little bit more. They should get a bump in their salary because how popular they are on social media. And a lot of networks really don't care how popular you are or how popping you are on social media. They don't care about that because that don't translate into ratings. That don't translate into being a difference maker for the network or the franchise. And I noticed this with younger athletes, and I'm kind of surprised that, Shannon Sharp is not a young guy. And why would he take this perspective? All right. But Shannon Sharp feels like, look, I'm a huge hit on social media. Everyone loves me on social media. I have a fan base. I have a rabid fan base from social media as far as my playing days with the NFL. So a lot of people like me. And also made the video that Shannon Sharpe, there's a lot of inquiries. If Shannon Sharpe goes free agent, ESPN would sign Shannon Sharpe in a heartbeat. Okay? Don't get it twisted or confused. Fox Sports 1 really do want Shannon Sharpe, but they do not want Shannon Sharpe at the number he's requesting. And the number that Shannon Sharpe is requesting, if they sign him to that type of contract, then he's an equal to Skip Bayless. And I think there have already been discussions between Skip Bayless and the upper management at Fox Sports 1. And when he signed his contract, they pretty much flat out guaranteed Skip Bayless, if they do re-sign Shannon Sharpe, he's not going to be making the same or more than you. And I felt like that was the number one factor in him re-signing with Fox Sports 1. It's not necessarily about the money, but it is about the money. In retrospect, when you think about it. So, it's going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be a real, like I said, in the summertime, when everyone comes back from their little mini summer vacations, you're going to see a lot of major changes at Fox. I don't know what they're going to do with Jenny Taft. If she's going to continue being the moderator moving forward until they get to the summer, and then they start making the changes there, or they just make the change in the next couple of weeks. I don't know from that perspective, but I feel like the next moderator is not going to be a clone of Jenny Taft. And I'm trying to think of the other lady that was the original moderator. And man, her name escapes me. Her brother played in the NFL. Joy Taylor. I knew it was going to come up. Joy Taylor. All right. And Joy Taylor was the original member of Undisputed as far as when the show started. And Joy Taylor was okay as being a moderator, but as the years went on, she felt like she was more than just a moderator. She could, she had her own piece of her mind, and she wanted to discuss as well. She wanted to be in the topics as well. And Fox Sports 1 felt like, you know what, let's move her to Colin Cowherd, where she can be in a role, not just a moderator, but just a co-host. And her and Colin Cowherd would connect perfectly. They will be chemically balanced, not imbalanced with Undisputed. And she would have a lot of times to show to the world and show to Fox Sports 1 that she can be more than just a moderator. And she proven that. Okay, now she's the guest host of Speak for Yourself. She has her own radio show on Sunday, I think the weekends, but I think it's Saturday to be exact. And she's making a way for herself. All right. Now I don't think Jenny Taft's going to do that, but I feel like the next co-host, I think they're going to have a selection of co-hosts for when Undisputed comes back from their little mini summer vacation. And a lot of changes are going to happen. And I feel like when we get closer to the point where they take their little break, we'll find out whether or not Shannon Sharpe is going to remain at Fox Sports 1. It would not surprise me if they do sign Shannon Sharpe, but Shannon Sharpe no longer wants to be be a co-host on Undisputed, which that would help Fox Sports 1 out huge. And I know a lot of people are going to say how that's helping Fox Sports 1, because they really only got one big hit show that everyone gravitates to. Yeah, the Colin Cowherd show. A lot of people, some people like that. Okay, Speak for Yourself. A lot of people like that as well. The Odd Couple, a lot of people like that as well. And First Things First, a lot of people like that as well. But those shows are not as big big or on the same level as Undisputed. They have Undisputed, and then they have some type shows. And they already talked about how Skip Bayless is going to also have an afternoon show. All right. And if they do re-sign Shannon Sharpe, it would not surprise me if Shannon Sharpe wants to do his own thing, wants to create his own show at Fox Sports 1, and then they'll have a show with Fox Sports 1. He'll have a show at Fox Sports 1. Skip Bayless is going to throw his blessings in it like that really mattered, but he's going to encourage that thought process as well, as far as him having his own show. And then we'll see how the chips play out when he gets his own show. He does his own thing, and he bounces off of whoever co-hosts alongside him, and we'll see the full potential of Shannon Sharpe moving forward, doing his own thing. But yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of changes at Fox Sports 1. They started with Jenny Taft, and I feel like when they come back from their mini vacation in the summer, there's going to be some significant changes, unless Shannon Sharpe comes to an agreement with Fox Sports 1. All right, so yeah. That's where we are as the world turns with Fox Sports 1 and Undisputed. Okay, so it's your boy. I'm up out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.